The Lion's Whisker. Hey loves, it's your girl Meelah, and welcome back to Meelah's TV, where African stories come alive with emotions, lessons, and hope. Today's story is from the beautiful highlands of Ethiopia, where love is tested not by magic, but by patience and understanding. Children, listen well, for this story will teach your heart what even time sometimes forgets, that love cannot be forced. It must grow, like a seed watered by patience. Chapter 1. The Cry of a Stepmother. Once, in a quiet village near the hills of Gondar, there lived a woman named Seble. Her beauty was soft like dawn, her heart gentle, and her laughter kind. When she married Teshome, the village hunter, her joy seemed complete. But there was one shadow in her happiness: Amare, Teshome's young son from his first wife. The boy, only 10, had eyes that held the sadness of someone much older. Since his mother's passing, he had locked his heart away like a door sealed with stone. When Seble tried to feed him, he turned away. When she smiled, he looked at the ground. When she spoke, he said nothing. One night, Seble sat by the small fire, tears in her eyes. Her husband looked at her and sighed. "My wife," he said, "you are good to him, but the boy's heart is wounded. Time will heal him." Seble shook her head. "Time is slow, Teshome. I do not wish to replace his mother, but must his eyes look at me as if I am the enemy?" She sobbed quietly. The next morning, when the sun rose over the hills, Seble made up her mind. She tied her hair in a scarf, wore her brown shawl, and set out for the forest. She went to see Abba Tekel, the wise man who lived near the mountain where mist touched the earth. Chapter 2. The Wise Man's Test. Abba Tekel's hut smelled of herbs and smoke. His beard was white like mountain salt, and his eyes were calm like a sleeping river. He listened as Seble poured out her heart. "Abba Tekel," she said, "I have tried every way to make the boy love me, but his heart is like a closed door. Please make me a charm, a drink, or a spell, something to make him care." The old man smiled faintly and stirred the pot before him. "Ah, Seble," he said slowly, "you seek love, not magic. But since your heart is pure, I will help you in my way." He leaned closer. "To prepare the charm, I need one thing: the whisker of a living lion." Seble gasped. "A lion's whisker? Abba, the lion is king of the wild. He will kill me." The old man chuckled softly. "You fear the lion, yet you do not fear the challenge of a child's heart? Both are wild, both bite, but one can be tamed with patience." He stood, his voice firm. "Bring me the whisker, my child. And remember, do not use strength. Use gentleness. Go each day, and let courage walk beside you." Seble bowed deeply. "A message analo, Abba." "Thank you, father." And so began her journey. Chapter 3. The Path to the Lion. Each dawn, before the village woke, Seble packed a gourd of milk and a piece of roasted meat. She wrapped it in banana leaves and walked toward the edge of the forest. The forest was alive. Monkeys chattered, birds called, and far away, the deep growl of a lion rolled through the trees. The first day, she stopped far from the cave. Her hands trembled as she placed the food on the ground and whispered, "Peace to you, mighty lion. Eat well." Then she ran away, heart pounding like a drum. The next morning, she returned. The food was gone, the ground covered with paw prints. She smiled and placed another offering, a little closer this time. Each day she came milk, meat, and silence. Each day the lion ate. And each day, Seble stepped closer. Weeks passed. The villagers whispered, "That woman must be mad. Who feeds a lion?" But Seble smiled quietly. She remembered Abba Tekel's words. "Do not fight the wild. Understand it." On the 21st morning, she saw the lion clearly, golden, strong, his mane like fire. He growled, but his eyes were calm. Seble knelt, her knees shaking. She placed the food just a few feet away. Egziaber Yimsjan, she whispered. May God be praised. For the first time, the lion did not roar. He simply watched her and began to eat. And every morning after that, Seble moved closer, until one sunrise, she was near enough to hear his breathing. Chapter 4. The Lion's Trust. That morning, the forest was still. The air smelled of dew and grass. Seble approached the lion slowly, her voice trembling but gentle. My friend, I have come again. She sat a few steps away, her body trembling, her heart whispering prayers. The lion turned his great head toward her and blinked slowly. She reached out her hand not to touch, only to show peace. And for a moment, they simply breathed together. Then, as the lion bent to eat, Seble reached forward with shaking fingers and plucked a single whisker. The lion lifted his head. Their eyes met, beast and woman, courage and grace. She whispered, "A message Inalo, my friend. I will never forget you." And she walked away, the whisker safe in her hand, her spirit trembling but alive. Chapter 5. The Lesson of Aba Tekel. Seble ran through the forest, her heart singing with triumph. She reached Abba Tekel's hut and cried, "Father, I have done it. I brought the lion's whisker." The old man smiled, took the whisker gently and then threw it into the fire. Seble gasped, "No. What have you done? I risked my life for that." Abba Tekel chuckled softly. "Child, you no longer need it." "But why?" she asked, tears in her eyes. He turned toward her and said, "You have learned the secret already. You faced a lion not with force, but with patience, gentleness, and courage. Use the same heart for your son. He, too, is a lion wounded and afraid. Feed him love, not fear, and one day he will trust you." Seble stood silently, the fire's glow reflecting in her tears. "Abba Tekel," she whispered, "I understand now." Chapter 6. The Human Lion. From that day, Seble changed. She stopped begging Amare to love her. She stopped forcing smiles or asking for hugs. Instead, she greeted him softly every morning. When he fetched water, she quietly followed and helped. When he worked in the field, she brought him food. When he fell sick, she stayed by his bed through the night. Slowly, the boy began to see her differently. One evening, as the sun painted the hills in gold, he whispered shyly, "Mother Seble, will you tell me a story tonight?" Her eyes filled with tears. "Yes, my son. I will tell you a story of a lion and of a woman who learned that love cannot be forced." That night, laughter filled the hut again. Teshome watched them from the doorway, his heart full. Chapter 7. The Moral of the Fire. And so, children, listen well. Love is like fire. If you chase it, it burns you. But if you feed it slowly with patience and care, it will warm your heart forever. The lion in this story was not just an animal, it was a test. And Seble's courage reminds us all that even the wildest heart can be tamed by kindness. In Amharic, they say, Fikir Aynet Nu. Love has its own kind. It cannot be rushed, it cannot be commanded. Seble learned that truth not from magic but from the patience of her own heart. So loves, that's the story of the lion's whisker. True love is never forced, it's built through patience, courage, and understanding. I'm your girl Meelah, and this is Meelah's TV, where African stories teach, heal, and inspire. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more beautiful tales. See you in the next episode, loves.